Welcome, Libra. It's your Mars in Pisces 6-week forecast on March the 2nd through till April the 9th. Mars, the planet of desire, passion, and action, moves into what is for you the practical sixth house, hosted by the watery Pisces. What's the implications of that? I'm going to share your event chart for the exact moment that Mars arrives from a purely Libran perspective, because Mars is forging a really important aspect with two other planets. They're going to provide a backdrop for the next 6 weeks, but I'm also going to share with you the upcoming aspects that Mars will forge. All of that by the end of the video will help me to give you a clear picture of what you can expect in terms of relationships, finance, energy, or work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. So on the screen is your event chart. And there's Mars. Let's just think about Mars in the sixth house. Mars can boost stamina. If you have been thinking about getting more active, Mars here can be really positive, particularly if it's swimming. That's a pretty straightforward analogy. But Mars is in a direct opposition with the Moon in the psychological 12th house. So if you are tempted to do something, take action over anything, whether it's looking for a new job, the sixth house, whether it's trying to tidy up your home, very practical, sixth house, try to be mindful of what your deeper motivation is. But intersecting these two positions is the restless vibe of Uranus. If we go back to the end of last week, Mars in Aquarius was directly square Uranus. There may be something you've been encountering. It could be someone being a little bit possessive or clingy, and maybe that's not quite been working for you. It may be a friend, it could be around a romantic situation, but you're going to be in a much more business-like frame of mind with Mars having moved into the sixth house. We just have to remember that despite Mars's desire to go quickly, the resistance of the water slows Mars down. So, for example, if you set yourself a program to get fitter, I wouldn't give yourself too many hoops to jump through. It needs to be really achievable. We also need to be conscious that your ruler Venus is in this sixth house, and suggest that you can use your personality power if you're looking for a new job to great effect, especially as Venus forges a very strong link with Uranus. So if a job calls out to you that combines your flair, but also your people skills with a new way of earning money, you can use the thrust of Mars to make things happen. But Mercury is also in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, a sign that it doesn't prosper well in. So details are going to be difficult to clarify, but important if you are going to do something. So if you're primed up to take action which Mars likes, I wouldn't rush it. Because the square with Uranus can make you perhaps a little bit impetuous, but the opposition with the Moon could make you maybe a little bit irritable even. There may be something that you're worrying about or you're not quite integrating. So the desire to get your world working in a more productive, more efficient, and even more ordered way, which can come from Mars in the sixth house, just really be aware of what might be behind that. Now, as the weeks go by in the middle of March, the progressing Mars meets the regressing Mercury, and that's exact on the 15th. But all through week 3 of March, Mars and Mercury are exactly side by side. But because Mercury is still retrograde through to the 20th of March, important around those details that you don't rush whatever you're trying to do, because you could actually feel a bit on edge, you could feel a bit brittle or even irritable. But later in the month, an amazing link shapes up between Jupiter, which goes direct on the 11th. Please look out for your deep dive for Libra for that. Well, Mars goes forwards and meets Jupiter towards the end of March in a stunning way. And if you're really getting organized, but not stretching yourself too thin, you know what your motives are. You're really keen to get things gaining traction. The chances are the two between them can be terrific. If you do work for yourself, you're applying for a job, you can come across with thrust, confidence, and conviction. But early in April, as we go into the new month, Mars is going to be linking very productively to Uranus. How ironic is that? And if you are looking for a job which can combine your talent to achieve things that have some kind of practical output, but at the same time are interesting and switch you on, the link between Mars and Uranus could see something happen very quickly at the start of April, which is actually very positive for you. So just to recap, there is a potential with Mars arriving in Pisces to try to get everything in your world working in a very practically efficient way. Just be conscious of what might be behind that. As far as relationships are concerned, at work, because of Mercury's retrograde, if someone hasn't been doing their job as well as they could have been, you may invest quite a lot of energy in trying to sort that out, but don't overgive. If you recall, Saturn was in the sixth house of your chart for 2 years, and over that 2 years, until Saturn fully arrived back in Aries for the longer term, there were plenty of occasions when you were doing too much. So Mars is also about being firmer about your boundaries. Don't overgive during this next 6 weeks. But when it comes to finance or even a relationship with Venus in that link with Uranus, something could happen suddenly and excitingly. But if you're wanting a relationship to really run well, I feel that tolerance is going to be important because you may feel, for whatever reason, just a little bit irritable over the next few weeks. And with Saturn now in your seventh house, it's something you just need to handle and marshal in order to keep things on an even keel. If you've yet to visit my new website at patrickarundel.com, it would be great to have your company. There's also a lot of love content there which you can enjoy. And if you want to understand what the rest of March holds, please click on the screen or check out your total lunar eclipse deep dive too.